We had Bridget a second ago, but she just disappeared. So maybe we want to give her just a few seconds and see if she can try to sign back in.
What's our minimum, Cassandra?
We have a quorum, minimum's 5. I'm not seeing her trying to get back on, so just give me a minute to hit the recording buttons and then you can start.
All right, can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Let's begin the
just
meeting.
A little bit.
Oh, what'd you say?
It's a little bit quiet. I'm going to try to increase the volume. Try again.
Okay, can everybody hear me a little better?
Yep.
Yeah? Okay. Okay, perfect. Let's begin today's meeting. The Meridian Arts Commission's mission is to develop, advance, and nurture all facets of the arts to enhance the quality of life for Meridian residents and its visitors. It is February 13th, and we will begin by doing roll call. Lizzie Taylor.
Here.
Bridget, you still, oh, there she is.
Here.
No. Sean Muscolo.
Here.
Me, I'm here. Crystal Paulson. Not here. Patrick O'Leary.
Here.
Here. Bobby Gatan.
Here.
Here. Sayun Song.
Here.
Vasil Ivanov.
Here.
Perfect. All right. We will move on to the adoption of the agenda. And I move to adopt the agenda, but with the addition of an item. And this item would be inserted after item 5 and before adjournment, to recognize Vasil Ivanov, since it's his last meeting as a Meridian Arts Commissioner, and we really appreciate him. So, do I have a second?
Second.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Thank you very much. That was very kind, Working.
Of course. Thank you. Okay. All ayes. Let's move on to approval of the minutes from the January 9th meeting. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Okay,
So
Sean
moved.
Piscolo moves. Do I have a second?
I second that.
Bridget King seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. Any opposed? Okay, all ayes. A motion passes. We'll move into our new business. And we'll turn some time over to Patrick for a presentation.
Testing 1, 2.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Give me a moment here. Okay. Now, if I do this right. Madam Chair, Commissioners, Cassandra, thank you for the opportunity to present my rambling thoughts on the impact the arts have. Most of my working career has been spent in the arts, both in the commercial and nonprofit. Over that time, I've come to learn and become an advocate for the impact the arts have on the lives of those who have access, and how the arts in turn impact local economies. Americans for the Arts is a national leading and nonprofit organization advocating for the arts and is committed to representing and serving local communities while fostering equitable access to the arts. I thought it might be informative to the committee and the city of Meridian to go to the best source for this information, collected through Americans Speak Out on the Arts, one of the largest national public opinion studies on the arts and culture ever conducted, and the Arts and Economic Prosperity #6, the economic impact spending by nonprofit arts and cultural organizations and their audiences, released in 2003. American Speaks Out on the Arts in 2023 is the third in a series of national and public opinion surveys about the arts and culture. The results are in, the message is clear. Americans view the arts as essential to their personal lives, their communities, and the nation's future. Engagement in the arts makes makes the American public feel healthier, more creative, and more empathetic, feeling better about today and more optimistic about tomorrow. I think it's a This quote by Bill English is very on point about theater. Theater is like a gym for empathy. It's where we go to build our muscles of compassion, to practice understanding and engaging with people that are not just like ourselves. We practice sitting down and paying attention and learning from other people's actions. Engagement in the arts, oops, I didn't change here. These personal benefits also extend beyond individuals, with the public agreeing that the investment in the arts strengthens civic pride and improves the social, economic, and educational well-being of their community. As far back as 399 BC, and that's going a ways back, the arts have been seen as important to education, as indicated from this Plato quote. I would teach children music, physics, and philosophy, but most important, music, for the patterns in music and the arts are the keys to learning. These insights highlight how arts and education not only enrich academic experiences, but also equip individuals with the creative problem solving and innovative thinking needed to excel in their careers. Yeah, despite its undeniable value, only 51% of Americans believe everyone in their community has equal access to the arts. The personal impact is generally what many people refer to when thinking about the arts, an often overlooked role of the arts have in our lives is the economic impact it has nationally, regionally, and locally. And I believe the economic impact is key to making equal access more available. So let's take a look at the Americans for the Arts, Arts and Economic Prosperity Report. Americans for the Arts creates the Arts and Economic Prosperity Report every 5 years. It's a study that measures the economic and social impact of the nonprofit arts and cultural industry. Building on its 30-year legacy as the largest and most inclusive study of its kind, the Arts and Economic Prospect 6 report provides detailed findings on 373 regions from across all 50 states and Puerto Rico, ranging in population from 4,000 to 4 million, and representing rural, suburban, and large urban communities. The nation's arts and cultural sector, nonprofit, commercial, education, is a $1.1 trillion industry that supports 5.2 million jobs. That is 4.3% of the nation's economy. One of the most extraordinary things about art is its capacity of turning any region into a choice tourism destination. Part of this ability comes from the art's wide appeal. The UN Tourism General Assembly defines cultural tourism as a type of tourism where visitors seek to learn, discover, and experience a destination. Cultural attractions, the pairing of the arts and cultural with tourism can lead to economic development by bringing visitors in while also contributing to community well-being. When people attend a cultural event, they often make an outing of it, dining in a restaurant, paying for parking and public transportation, enjoying dessert after the show, and returning home to pay for a child or pet care. The arts also make our cities destinations for tourists. They attract and retain businesses and play an important role in the economic revitalization of cities and the vibrancy of our neighborhoods. The arts are fundamental to our communities. They enable us to inspire, They enable and inspire us, fostering creativity, empathy, and beauty. The arts also strengthen our communities socially, educationally, and economically. When an arts venue or a city is located in their hometown, the overall response about its importance to them is undeniable, as shown in the strongly agree response from the Americans for the Arts Survey as part of its Americans Speak Out about the Arts Survey. The Arts Commission's mission is to develop, advance, and nurture all facets of the arts to enhance the quality of life for Meridian residents and visitors. Core to this mission is the belief that opportunity to experience and participate in the visual, performing, and public arts can strengthen cities, increase livability, and contribute to a sense of community. The city of Meridian is the second most populated city in Idaho, with a population of 142,000 as of 2024. Unfortunately, it doesn't have a cultural institution to support locally based performing arts organizations, and in turn is missing out on potential revenue. Here's a listing of the cities in Idaho who have locally based arts organizations and each organization's annual operating budget, provided by the Idaho Commissions for the Arts and to the AFT Americans for the Arts EP6 study. This information was used to calculate the economic impact cultural institutions have on Idaho communities and its economy. I thought, since Meridian is working on developing a new community center, the best way to estimate what the economic impact of considering a cultural arts institution as part of that new property and what the potential economic impact might be in Meridian. To accomplish this, I used the Nampa Civic Center's information and city statistics, population 114,602. Civic Center's annual budget is $906,000 and annually hosting over 125,000 guests and 850 events. And these numbers come from Idaho Commissions for the Arts and the Nampa Civic Center's website. So if Meridian had a comparable space, a number of events, and attendees, the local government revenue estimate would be in the range of around $250,000. Nothing to sneeze at. Now, I can't say that having a comparable performing space will significantly increase attendance and revenue generated to local businesses. But being able to offer a wide variety of performances, corporate events, et cetera, certainly can't hurt Meridian's bottom line. The always necessary explanation of the what and how of the results of the calculations presented on the previous slide. And most importantly, that the results are estimates and should not be used as a substitute for conducting a feasibility and economic impact study that is customized for each community. In these challenging times, the arts emerge as a powerful force. As a powerful force for reflection, connection, and resilience. Arts help us process complex emotions, share untold stories, bring communities together, and envision new possibilities. When the present feels overwhelming, whether through painting, poetry, or performance, the arts speak to our shared humanity, offering both comfort and a call to action. It reminds us that even in these darkest moments, creativity is an act of hope and an assertion that beauty and justice still matter. But the arts are more than just solace. They are also a vital investment in our future. A robust arts education cultivates critical thinking, problem solving, skills, and empathy in our students, preparing them to thrive in a complex world. Furthermore, a thriving art scene is a powerful engine for local economies. It attracts tourists, supports small businesses, and fosters vibrant, engaging communities where people want to live and work. So as we navigate these challenges, let us not only embrace the arts for their intrinsic value, but also recognize that their crucial role in shaping a brighter, more prosperous future for our children and our communities. Let us invest in the arts, support our artists, and ensure that their transformative power continues to enrich our lives. Thank you all. Any questions?
Thank you so much, Patrick. That was great. Can you guys still hear me? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that was great. Did anybody have any comments or questions for Patrick about his presentation?
It sure would be nice to have that community center with a performance space and some gallery space too. I would love that.
Yeah, I think we'd all be in agreement with that. That sounds lovely. Hopefully one day that could happen.
Idaho Falls has one. So,
All right. Well, if nobody else has anything, we can move on to some reports. And we'll start with Lizzie Taylor, for the Initial Point Gallery Subcommittee.
Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. Hope you're enjoying this snowy weather, which will hopefully go away in a couple of days. Initial Point Gallery. Current exhibit, which is absolutely fabulous. It's called Inverted Color. You can read the names of the artists all by yourself. You can do that. The opening was on Tuesday, the 4th of February. We had upwards of 60 people. And I'd like to thank Sean for hosting it and for her hosting of the next upcoming event, which I'll talk about in a minute, and also for her idea of and following through on the art search thing that she does for children. It's been very, very, very well received. And again, thank you, Sean. You're very active in this subcommittee. Okay, the next exhibit is called Landlines. Now, ordinarily, the posters for the new exhibit don't come out until about the 3rd week of the month previous to the exhibit, but I understand from Cassandra that one of the artists may have pressured Cassandra into producing the poster sooner than later. So the poster, which is gorgeous, I don't know if you, anyway, it is ready for your distribution should you choose to do so. You can pick them up at the front desk of Parks and Rec, but I would suggest not getting them out there until about the end of this month or the very beginning of March, so we don't have too much overlap. Okay, the upcoming artists are Antonia Hedrick, Beth Trott, and Stephanie Inman. It opens on the 4th of March, and Sean, thank you very much again, is going to be hosting.
yes.
A couple of other,
No, I just said yes.
Okay, all right. I have a couple of other things. For some reason or other, I was invited by the Meridian Senior Center to judge something at the Senior Center tomorrow having to do with the arts. I have no idea what I'm going to be judging, but I'll be there. I'll wear something red in honor of Valentine's Day and wear my little lanyard. So Meridian Arts Commission will be represented. Okay, I'm doing a presentation at the end of the month for the Solid Waste Advisory Commission on Initial Point Gallery, who we are, what we do, how we get what we get, who gets invited, how we operate, et cetera, et cetera. And the last thing, and this is something I've been kind of germinating in my mind for a while. One of my great passions in life is Initial Point Gallery, getting more eyeballs on the art that we have there. And I thought, okay, how to get to people? Go for groups. But you can't just say a group or this group or that group, because if you have a group that has only one purpose only, like bowling or golf or tennis, they might not be the best candidates for going to a gallery. So I thought, okay, what do we have a lot of in Meridian? We have a lot of churches. We have some really, really big churches. Life Church on Eagle is huge. Capital Church on Fairview is even huger, and Rock Harbor is just absolutely gigantic. Okay, Cassandra, when I bounced this off of her, said, okay, churches probably as a group aren't necessarily the best candidates for visiting art galleries, but I thought what I would do, and Cassandra has not poo-pooed this, so I guess I'm okay to go. I will determine at these churches who the best person is to meet with in person, whether it's the pastor or their activities director or whoever, I don't know yet. Go and talk to this person, explain a little bit about the Meridian Arts Commission, and reassure them that anything and everything that goes up in Initial Point Gallery is neither political, religious, erotic, or violent. I think some people in churches might feel a little bit reluctant to go to galleries, feeling that there might be content in the gallery that they might be offended by. Now, whether they like it or not is one thing, but we certainly go out of our way not to have anything in the gallery that could be, everything can be potentially offensive to anybody, but we do have very high standards and we keep them. So I thought that would be a good idea, which I'm perfectly happy to do, to invite groups, small groups of people or whatever size, much like the meeting that we had at Initial Point Gallery with Boise Camera Club. There were about 15 people. This was not anything that had to be noticed. This was not public. This was just a group of people. We are certainly, if people want to apply to show at Initial Point Gallery, that's certainly fine, but that is not the main reason. The main reason for getting these people into Initial Point Gallery is to expose them to the community, the fact that we have a tremendous resource in the community, that this is a very community and family-oriented thing that they can be happy to bring their grandkids to or whatever. So that is something that I'm going to start in on probably in the next week or so, and just wanted you guys to be aware of it. But if any of you happen to know anybody in and I went for the big kind of non-denominational churches rather than singling out specific denominations. We have to make it as community as possible. But if any of you know anybody in a particular church that you would either like to talk to on behalf of Initial Point or would like me to talk to them, just let me know. So that's what I'm going to do. Thank you very much. Bye.
So Lizzie, are you thinking also about meeting the group there and doing some kind of not a docent, but some kind of introduction or something like that?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, I would definitely, and I would bone up on interesting items or facts about the artists. I would let the artists know that XYZ group is going to be there on a certain day. There is no pressure for the artist or artists to be there. This is a very informal, but yes, I would definitely be there, not just having people just sort of wander in aimlessly. Good question, thanks.
I think it's a great idea, Lizzie. A question for Cassandra is, would it be possible to do what Lizzie's talking about, but in cooperation with like the Chamber of Commerce and local businesses as a partner for a show, that they would then send out invitations to their connections, their business connections for that, or the schools, in doing a partnership in that way for them to contact and hit their mailing list or contacts?
Good question, Patrick, or Commissioner O'Leary. We do the one with West Ada School District, so that's kind of a good partnership, and that does get pushed out to those families. With the chamber or other organizations, I think I'd probably push that to the gallery subcommittee to discuss thoughts on that. Because as you also said, like what's the logistics of what we do or what work would happen. And I also, I guess along those lines, I did send, Commissioner Muscolo was really interested in doing an artist talk this month. And so I did, we had a little bit of an email exchange, and I think I'd love to have more events and things in the gallery, except my capacity and bandwidth is a little bit, I think I kind of have to set a little bit of a boundary that one event in the gallery per month is kind of what I can handle. So if we do something with the chamber or something, like really want to push it with that one gallery event. So
So
potentially possible.
what if it doesn't, what if the event is more like what Lizzie was describing, a small visit, and you don't actually have to show up or produce chairs or pictures of water and food and all that stuff. It's not too complicated, just wander around the gallery and chat over the art, basically. I mean, if you don't have a lot of work to do, is it easier? Can we just do it? Can Lizzie just meet her group there, whoever she gets to show up?
Good question. And yes, actually, if it doesn't require marketing and it's a little bit more informal, just as Commissioner Taylor described, and I'd love all the commissioners to do this for all of our events, go talk to groups, go tell people about the Arts Commission and encourage them to come visit our events and the gallery, because we have an amazing gallery and I think still so many people don't know about it. So if you want to invite people up during regular business hours where we don't have to arrange the chairs and the HVAC and the elevators and the security, it's just during business hours and bringing groups in, absolutely, please do that. So I want to commend Commissioner Taylor for doing that. The Boise Camera Club, for example, that was great. And then they followed up and really want to apply with the show. So that was great.
Yeah.
If I could add, oops, sorry.
Just add one more thing. Disadvantage of trying to do something with the Chamber of Commerce, and they're a very, very active, viable organization, and they do lots of good stuff. But people in the Chamber of Commerce, and 9 out of 10, have that thing called a job during the day. So Chamber likes evening events. They like their get-togethers, like at the bar at Albertsons or stuff like that. We are not the bar at Albertsons. So it's a good suggestion, Patrick, but it's not particularly viable because the Chamber, while they have a certain commonality of interest, doesn't have the same kind of commonality of interest that maybe a church outreach group would have. They're very varied businesses. We tried it once about 5 years ago, and it was just short of a hot mess.
So maybe that takes away from what I was gonna add. We've had a chamber meeting, Cassandra Downtown Committee, at Initial Point Gallery 2 years ago. Actually found out my wife was pregnant as I was leaving that meeting. So that will be a great memory for the rest of my life. In the staircase here at City Hall, I found out I was gonna have a child. So I digress. The networking, is it First Thursday networking they do? If we work with them in advance to set that up on a Tuesday or a Wednesday when there's a gallery opening, if it's not going to be a hot mess like it was before, maybe it would be a great idea to get people in networking in a gallery environment. So that would quadruple, maybe triple the amount of attendance we get. So that's I think that could be worthwhile exploring that.
And actually, so that potentially be a good option on the 2-month shows where we have the reception and then there is a second event. So if there's a show where that makes sense and with a fair amount of planning in advance, then yeah, that could be a possibility.
All right. Thank you guys for all your comments. That's really exciting. I appreciate all the outreach Lizzie has been doing in regards to Initial Point Gallery. It's been really awesome and helpful. So thanks, Lizzie. We can move on to Cassandra is going to talk a little bit about concerts on Broadway.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So just some updates for concerts on Broadway. We have the dates set. They're the Saturdays, one in July, August, and September. So July 12th, August 9th, and September 6th. I've booked Soul Patch. They played with us, I think, 3 years ago. They were really popular, sort of a little bit more, it's rock, but kind of a little bit more like Western, a country feel to it for the first one. And then Steph and the Groove, who have not played for the concerts before, but definitely sort of fit with the concert vibe. And I love their front singer. She's great. Summer Groove Party Band. The dates really didn't work for them this year. I actually had them tentatively, and then they had, I think someone was maybe getting married, and they said that they would definitely continue with but they were going to have some of their best musicians missing, and I said, look, it's fine. We'll ask you back in the future. We can find another band. So I'm still working on the last show. Feel free to send any recommendations. Oddly enough, this year for both Kleiner Park Live and the concerts on Broadway, the special events coordinator and I have been receiving 2 or 3 inquiries from different bands interested in playing the events. A lot of them are maybe more singer-songwriters or like they're not quite the right fit, but we have a new form on the website so that bands can apply and send the information so that we can keep it in one place because we have a few dozen bands, but if there's someone that you'd like to recommend or add to the list, feel free, or even better, if you know them, encourage them to fill out the form so that we have all the information in one place. It's just on the cityofmeridian.org concerts on Broadway. There's a little button there at the end. So that's where I'm at for planning right now. And let me know if you have any questions as we move forward with those.
Perfect. Thank you, Cassandra. Bobby, do you have an update on the Public Art Committee for us?
Hello, everyone, Madam Chair, Commissioners. Our last public art meeting was in January. We didn't have one in February. We had some discussion items at that meeting. We talked about the framing and the proposed locations for Claire Rensburg art. And so we approved these locations here at City Hall, and they'll be hung on the first floor right near where we're sitting at the moment. And so actually we'll get to see them when we're meeting later in the future. So we're excited for her and her artwork to be hung here. And also the framing of them we will be recommending a floating frame. As a committee, we agreed that that was well worth it, and fits within our proposed budget for framing. And so they're gonna look really nice. We can't wait to see them up there. And we just reviewed some updates on the Public Art Master Plan scope of work. We just talked a little bit about that, and then we just updated, Cassandra updated us on a couple things with regards to Laurel. If you recall, we had talked about purchasing her artwork to be hung at the home court. It's a mural. It's a mural that was painted live last year, and so we Cassandra worked up an agreement, and it is in the works to purchase her work. Other than that, all current projects are on track. Yeah. And just this quick little I just want to thank Vasil as part of the Public Art Committee. You know, he's been with us for the last couple years, and I don't think we could have done a lot of the work without his efforts and his volunteer time that he puts into the Public Art Committee. So thank you, Vasil, for all the work you've done. And we're gonna miss you, and keep up all the great work that you're doing for the city and your new endeavors. So.
I have a few more updates on projects since the Public Art Committee met. Chateau Park, we're definitely at 50% fabrication. Actually did a studio visit. It was really cool to see the leaf and everything coming together, and is going into powder coating. So those should be installed in early March. So anticipate some sort of dedication event at Chateau Park in March. So there's two big contracts that are about to go through the work session on City Council. So that's the Linder Road project and the Public Art Master Plan. So assuming approval, those are good to go and on track, and we'll start work on the Public Art Master Plan soon. The purchase for the artwork at City Hall and for Laurel are still in contract negotiations, so working on those. And as Bobby said, we're kind of looking at the wall right here by the elevator, so you will be able to see them. And commissioners and also mayor kind of really liked there's kind of an interesting connection somehow between Claire's work and the work that's currently in the room here. One's kind of about Meridian's past, and it's done in a different sort of style, and then Claire's is kind of done in a more surreal and contemporary style, so there's a nice relationship between those. The public art website launch, hopefully you all saw the press release, and I just sent out an email to everyone. I was interviewed on Idaho Matters by Gemma Gaudette, so hopefully you get a chance to listen to that. I'm really excited about the website. There was a slight snafu. I was supposed to do the interview on Tuesday, but apparently GIS and IT ran a tool, and half the images went away from the website. So if you visited it on Monday or Tuesday and we're like, what's going on? It's not working. Yeah, but it's been fixed since then, and hopefully those images are located in a different folder that won't get deleted again. I think that's it for public art updates. I think the next big thing really is probably the public art master plan, so that's exciting. More on that to come.
Thank you so much, Commissioner Gatan and Cassandra, for updating us on those. It's all very exciting. Yeah, I think right now we're gonna take some time and thank Vasil for everything that he has contributed to the Arts Commission for the last couple years. I think we can all say that we really appreciated all the time that you gave, especially during this really important time in your life, becoming a new dad. Thank you so much. And yeah, Cassandra, I'll turn it over to Cassandra. So.
I have an official certificate of appreciation for you. And a gift. I don't know if any of you have seen this out there, but it's the Meridianopoly game. It's specific to Meridian. And you might notice if you look at the items in here that Initial Point Gallery is one of the spaces.
Very cool.
Woo-hoo.
Woo! So thank you very much for all you've done, and I'm sure we will work together again in the future.
Absolutely. Thank you, Cassandra. Madam Chair, Commissioners, this has been a real honor. This is the first city commission I've ever served on, so I've learned a lot, and I've been very inspired by the work we've done and by each of you. So making these connections in this community, especially when I was new to this community, has had a more significant impact on my life than you'd think, being immersed in the art community here in Meridian. So that will stick with me forever. I'm so grateful for each of you and the time we spent together, and look forward to seeing you all around. And I'll try to attend more gallery openings as a visitor. So thank you so much, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you, Vasil. And yeah, thank you guys. Do we have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
So moved.
Lizzie Taylor moves. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second.
Okay,
Or-
I'll give it to Vasil. Vasil seconds. All in favor?
Perfect. I.
Aye.
Okay.
Aye.
Okay, any opposed? Okay, all ayes.